She waves a pink sling of paper that she's holding around. So, we'll get some more supplies from the art room. What is the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time I wanted more, there's only a little. By that time we took all of it, just went with that. Now there's like none left. And do you know where you can get some? I don't understand. How would I know? Chan, I mean, the president thought a teacher would know if there's plywood. Was she wrong? Mitchell looks like he's in great pain, frowning with the entire essence, and Mitchell doesn't get it at all. Letting the two of them communicate is terrible. Letting a man being tortured by drilling his skull open, blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I had no idea there was plywood in the school, so let it alone where it would be if there was any. What? What should I do? Try to find Mr. Moya. Sure, you know where to find everything you need. You have to apply them with his cold dead hands, but that doesn't matter. I don't have time. We're so busy. She holds her head with both her hands, looking despairing. It's impossible for a person like her. And without noticing, she holds the notes she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even mention these things. There's so much to do, and we're falling behind schedule. He looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I might even get some temporary help. Which is staring at me focusedly with a hard expression. I was saying, go make some friends. I guess I could give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Chan. You're really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with a finger, yelling, ah! Looking very puzzled. Couldn't think of it. What's the Chan doing here? Class is over. He's having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not kitchen, is it? Are you in trouble with Chan? No, I'm not. I was sitting there. Is it Chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Can you believe me, Mister? Come on. I told you I wasn't, and then you have to ask him, and he says I'm not. Come on. I do sighs deeply, and I feel like I have to help Misha to just get off the teacher's back. So, what do you need? Here's a list. I tried to find the playroom somewhere else that's not in the art room. Shows me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said to help you, but there's no implication on whether I'm joining the council or not. So, thanks, Chan. Try to be quick. We're gonna install building's cheek right now. You must hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. Something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at a list from the Ryan's ranging from paint to plywood, all lit and with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Chizune's. I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Reading a long list, limply the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom's closest stars are designated by classes belonging to 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Farther down the corridor with still identical doors are rooms that I don't think were used for classes. Because the art room is not a classroom as such. I could put you on the farthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There's some easels in the door in the corner, so it at least looks as right place. The room is flushed and silent with big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Reflective dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making beams of light seem almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody ho? Something catches my eyes and I stop mid-sentence. Oh. Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food firmly stuck on the end. The other way of dunning seems to cause her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes back even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in the corner very still, but somehow I took her to be part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. Not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems frozen in place, staring at their huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. Staring at me, her mouth open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my wide open, so I remember I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. Towards the end, with this weird stalemate, he was all stunned into silence. punctuated only the wall clock ticking rhythmic. Let's see. Hello. Hello. Sure. Whatever. Goes with the fork full in her mouth, and staring at me with expecting me while chewing. It's a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to take a surprise. I'm here. The festival stalls, I think. I don't think I would have been here. Risen. That's why I came here too. Picks up another fork bowl. Does that mean you're here then? Raise your eyebrows as you suspecting my observation was false. But you a servant. Yes, it does. But who are you? It was pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai, Sao Nakai. I was transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin Tezuka. Tezuka Rin. Backwards. Everywhere. Not much I can with you, but at least we know where you are now. That's very nice. Her independent manner of speaking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. Kinda bothers me, showing about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. When I'm trying to figure out what appropriate or this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and now gazing learningly back at her food. Continue my lunch. If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. You need to get yourself with pleasure at the back. Go right ahead then, but lunch goes already over for the day. But where do you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? Well, I was saying much too, but I don't know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious box lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's delicious. What's decisive Rin once again picked up the fork between her toes, but at least as much in politeness, she switches straight at me. So Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I still look for these things. Well, the school. Outside you look fine, but is your problem inside? I'm under full stop opening my mouth, but not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people. Ring gets me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I'm further from the issue again. I haven't told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling not being issued is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. Many people here could relate, not any better than normal people could. I can't relate to Resune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, as I go through this in my head, really considering my condition could be, with an overly contemplative look on her face. Puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer is written up there. The evil light limits her face from the window side, creating a mass of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think anything in your head and anything in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. Problem must be in your pants! Obviously, right? This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the Sherlock of tact it was delivered with, catches me completely off guard. The thing I might have reeled back physically is one's eyes right in revelation and astonishment. So I was right, there's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partly in shock, but realizing you need to reply something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, or something like that. I have a heart problem, arrhythmia. I said it. Well, I put it out, but I said it. Remember, pressed her lips together and gliders at me, looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would be much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry I let you down, I guess. I forgive you. I collect people and a person with, that kind of problem would be really great. Collect people? What do you... Deal with different problems. Huh. So you just, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. Well, if to say, resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away. I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I told anyone about my condition. Other people have either known about it already, or heard from somewhere else, or didn't even know about it, like every other student here so far. Should I told her the natural part of introduction is expected of me? Hi, I'm Nasao. I have a serious heart condition. Is that I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on?